Hello, everyone. This is Simon with AvaTrade, and I welcome you to our weekly webinar mapping out your week ahead. As you know, what we're trying to do here, as I like to quote traders when they say you plan your trade and then you trade your plan, and that's the purpose of this webinar, for us to create the structure to try to analyze things and try to make a little plan for the week. This way we can be more organized and less impulsive, and our trading has a chance to be improving this way. A few things about myself. My name is Simon Friedman. I'm a senior account manager with AvaTrade. I've been trading for, actually, I need to change this number. It's 25 years now officially. I started in June of 2000 as a prop trader in New York City, and I did it for about 11 years. After that, I moved away from intense day trading and started to mentor and educate others. And I'm very happy I have this great opportunity to be assisting our customers at AvaTrade. The agenda of the webinar, as usual, we'll talk about indices, stocks, commodities, Forex. We try to analyze some fundamentals mixed with technicals. We'll take a look at economic calendar and try to make sense of things that are happening. Risk warning, everything we do here, of course, it's purely educational. We do not suggest any trades, and you can find the full statement at avatrade.com website. Social media channels, please follow us on Telegram, X, and the YouTube channel. As I usually say, it's my favorite. You have a lot of information. I have a huge selection of tutorials, educational materials, and the webinars are being recorded and posted on YouTube. So don't stress if you miss a webinar, you can always find it on YouTube. And if you are watching this webinar on YouTube, please don't forget to click likes, only if you like it, of course, and feel free to share it with people that might benefit from it. And of course, leave your feedback, write to us. We'll be happy to hear from you. So before we go into things, as we know, we had quite a week. We had NFPs and a market panic on Wednesday when ADP numbers came very low. I think it was 37,000. So sometimes they match or at least close to NFPs, and everybody was kind of worried about the NFPs showing low, and NFPs actually beat the expectation. So the market actually reacted in a positive way to it. And of course, we had a crisis kind of fired by Trump and Musk all over the social media, especially X, I guess, just fighting and sending very quote unquote friendly messages to each other. All right, so this is the NFPs, right? We'll go through slides, through a few slides. You can find them at marketwatch.com. Some are from Barron's. So the bottom line of jobs report, no rush for Feds to cut rates. Let's just read it together. Not as bad as fear, but as good as it looks. That's what the latest employment data show. But for financial markets, the numbers suggest that the Federal Reserve may be slower to lower interest rates, contrary to the President Donald Trump's increasingly strident calls for cuts. Non-farm payrolls rose 139,000 in May, the Bureau of Labor Statistics reported on Friday, which surpassed the consensus of economists' forecast of 126,000 gain, as well as increasingly gloomy expectation based on other alternative indications, such as private sector tallies of payrolls, layoffs announcement, and unemployment claims. The headline jobless rate derived from separate survey of households also held as low as 4.2 last month. Okay, so we had unemployment staying at 4.2%. Jobs showed more gain than expected. So the Feds are not in a rush to cut the rates. And of course, these beautiful faces that we hear and see all the time. Let's see how it continues. I'm sure they're going to make peace somehow. But for now, there's a lot of issues there. And it says right here, Trump and Musk fallout is box office, but this matters more for markets. So, and I'm not going to read the whole thing, but it says right here, okay, that might seem a little flippant, but Trump's call with Chinese leader Xi on Thursday was boosting markets before the blow up with Tesla. CEO Musk grabbed everyone's attention. In the long term, the US-China negotiations are still where investors should be focused. So we're going to hear new things. I think there's a meeting between, I don't know on what level, the president's meeting or representatives are going to be meeting, but it looks like they are meeting this coming week in person, and it should take place in London. I believe I read that. So that's Trump and Musk. So we know the ARK CEO, Cathie Wood, she is, or at least has been a heavy Tesla investor. I think lately she was selling, if I'm not mistaken. But it says right here, Wood comments after the Musk departed the Department of Government Efficiency. On Tuesday, Musk criticized Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill, saying it would increase the national deficit and undermine Dodge's cut-cutting effort. In response, Trump questioned Musk's contributions and threatened to cancel federal contract with Musk companies, including Tesla and SpaceX. But this, the first paragraph is a key one here. So CEO Musk and investors are beginning to understand more how much the U.S. government has control, and this is the key word, U.S. government has control over the companies that Musk running, said Cathie Woods, CEO of asset management, blah, blah, blah. All right, so I guess Trump is just doing whatever he thinks is necessary to be done, and some people don't like it. Big thing for Apple is coming up this week. We have let me just try to pronounce it, Worldwide Developers Conference. It starts on Monday, and sometimes it helps Apple, sometimes it does the opposite. So let's see how this week will play. I think investors are, it says right here, Apple stock has been dogged by concerns that the company is behind the curve on AI. So let's see. I think investors are hoping to get some positive, encouraging news on AI front. Let's see if that happens. And this is the slide you've seen 2 weeks ago. By the way, last week we didn't have the webinar, and I told you in advance I was traveling. We had an amazing trip to South Africa where we had conference with the FX brokers. I met some amazing people. That was great. So I wasn't able to record, but this slide is from 2 weeks ago, and there's a purpose. I left it here. I didn't forget to delete it. It's about the platinum. If you remember 2 weeks ago, we spoke about the possibility of platinum having a run, and I give you these numbers from the article that platinum might be catching up with gold, and we'll take a look at the chart. As far as the gain for the week, platinum was the biggest gainer, 11.5% for this past week. The Feds, the probability of the interest cut is staying super low. As of now, it's about 2.6%. You can find and follow these numbers at CME FedWatch Tools. Just Google it and this thing will come up. All right, economic calendar. First, I just want to explain, especially to new people, what it is. It's public information. You can access it at our web trader or the app. Also, you can just Google it. And as I said, a lot of sources offer it. It's all open information, public information. What I do here, I take out only high impact events. There's so much more. You can choose whatever is relevant to your trading and so on. Here I have New York Times, the Eastern time, and let's just go through it. So there's so much more. Like I said, I just take out the high impact events here. So today we have later on GDP numbers from Japan, inflation or CPI numbers from China. Tuesday we have employment, unemployment data from UK. Wednesday, a key inflation number, CPI numbers from US. And Thursday, we have PPI numbers from US. And Friday, we have CPI from Germany and Michigan Consumer Sentiment Index. They're actually expecting it to rise. Interesting. So these are the things to watch for this week. Of course, as I said, there's so much more, but these are the most important of the high impact events. All right, as usual, the winners and losers for the week. We'll also go through them when we get to the chart. You can take a screenshot if you'd like. So we'll go one by one just with the numbers, and then we'll get to the charts, and we'll try to take a look how they look from the technical point of view. So platinum, as we said, is really listening to that opinion of trying to catch up with gold, up 11.5% for the week. Palladium up almost 10%. Natural gas up 9.81%. Silver 9.39. Crude oil up 6.5%. Coffee up 4.38. Wheat up 4%. Copper up 3.31. And the indices had a good week. I think NFPs helped it a lot. Also, softening in U.S.-China tariffs negotiation also helped it, I think, as well. So Nasdaq was up for the week 2%, S&P's up 159, and Dow Jones up 1.28%. On the downside, we didn't have big losers as far as futures. These are all futures, right? Sugar was down 3.17%. And in the FX world, we had, of course, the Bitcoin up 1.44%. Pound yen up percent against the dollar. Major currencies, we have Aussie leading, then New Zealand. So Aussie up 0.88, New Zealand dollar up 0.79, pound is up 0.58%, and euro is up 0.41% against US dollar. All right, so those are the numbers. Let's switch to the chart. And as usual, we start with indices. Let's see if China is managing to bounce a little bit here. We still trading in this huge channel that we've been talking about for a while, between 12,850s to 13,720s. As you could see here, we discussed it many times. And we are trading above the 50, 200, and 100 moving averages. But we are a little bit higher than the mid channel, but still not really running in to the breaking the highs. Japanese index, it's holding very nicely here above the 37,388. This is the level from the sell-off that we had back in March. We were zigzagging around that level a lot. We're still kind of fighting with the 200 moving average. We did close above it. At least it looks like it here on the chart. Also, a little bit of weakness of yen helped it as well. We'll take a look at yen as well. So Japanese yen, a little bit weak, and it is helping. Of course, the global markets help it as well. So we are right around 200 moving average here. Now, moving to US indices, and let's take a look. We said the winners for the week. Nasdaq was up 2%. You can see here in the weekly chart. Nice move. We are actually approaching those highs and resistance at around, I mean, the last candle here when the sell-off happened, that was February 21st, and the high was here 22,244.5. So we had a strong week, and if we are continuing this way, we might be actually getting there and trying to retest that resistance here, this level. Next one is S&P's 500, was up 1.59% for the week. See here, and we are kind of breaking this double top, and we're also trading higher then that March 3rd level where the sell-off happened here on the daily chart. Let's take a quick look if I'm not confusing myself. So on Nasdaq, we way passing that level. On S&Ps, we actually just passed that level of March 3rd, and we could be as well on the way to that February level of resistance. Here we had the triple top that we couldn't break on S&Ps. Again, some traders like to watch the S&Ps at small balance and has more companies within it, and they're doing also international business as well. So if you take a look at S&P as a general or the main indicator of the equities, so we had here the top of December 16, then we had the second one January 24, and the third one on February 19th. Right, triple top, and then we started the sell-off. We had a correction, and now they like to sell off. And as of now, it's a clear uptrend that we're having with some take profits correction and looking higher. So let's take a look what this week's news and events will bring. And the third one is Dow Jones up 1.28%. Also sitting right on a 200 moving average here and trying to break through this double top, trying to actually having a triple top here on Dow Jones. Let's take a quick look at Germany. It remains very, very strong. We're at the highs. I think it could be that we had the highest closing. I could be mistaken. But on Thursday, we had the high and highest high, the all-time high, I guess, not to confuse everyone. And Friday on the daily chart, it looks like we had the all-time closing. Yep, on the weekly chart as well. So DAX is very, very strong. It continues to be strong. So that's as far as indices. Let's move to stocks. And let's start with Apple, as we have this developers conference kicking in on Monday. Apple stock is not the strongest out of all of them. It looks like we'll take a look. Microsoft is the strongest probably. So we are sitting here struggling with the 50-day moving average at around $204 price. So we'll watch Apple. Netflix just unstoppable. Friday actually, it had a down day when the market was going higher. But it has the life of its own. Just to remind us, as an example, when COVID was destroying the markets, Netflix was just flying. So it has its own reasons. As I said, Microsoft is super strong here. We are officially at the all-time highs, it looks like it, on Microsoft. We had a gap up on Friday, and it looks like we did close the gap and close the day higher. And of course, we should be taking a look at NVIDIA, and definitely, you know what, we've already at Tesla, crazy numbers, crazy losses of market cap, and it's just triggered by the argument between Trump and the CEO, Elon Musk. Let's see how they place. Let's see how what this week will bring. But if you take a look at the numbers, at some point Tesla was losing 16%, 14, 15%. Personal losses of Elon Musk are tens of billions of dollars, and market cap as well. I think it's the biggest daily loss in Tesla's history. That's what the analysts are saying, and it makes sense. Take a look at this candle here. So that's on Tesla. Let's take a quick look at NVIDIA. It's been strong since all the panic of sell-off on the markets. We hit the current bottom here on 7th of April, and since then we've been making nice move to the upside. And this past week, we've been challenging the February 18th high of 143.33. We did play with it a little bit, but we didn't close higher. You could see here, we closed at 141.66, and at some point we were about $0.50 higher than the high of this candle here. So let's see what this week brings to, in general, to the markets, and let's see how Nvidia plays, Apple, Tesla. Definitely, we want to take a look at banks. As you could see here, banks also reacted to the positive news on employment and China negotiations and so on. We are having a retest of this level here on Goldman Sachs around 612, 613, JP Morgan as well. We are closed above this 264, 265 level. Bank of America as well jumped with the gap, and Citigroup as well. So banks are reacting very nicely to these latest events and the reports. So that's as far as individual stocks. Let's move to commodities, and we'll go through those winners and losers really quick. As you could see here, platinum, we spoke about platinum on the 23rd, I believe, right? So what we did see since then, we had a move to 1100. We had a nice shakeout, especially this day here on the 30th. That was Friday. So Friday, they pushed everybody out, didn't let people into the weekend with long positions. And take a look, since Monday open, we were just skyrocketing and the volume is growing. So if you take a look at the weekly chart, we just broke the level of 14 months ago. This was April 16, 2023. No, sorry, it's more. It's 2 years, 26 months ago. We were at this level, April 16, 2023. And on the monthly chart, if we can, this is the second monthly candle to the upside, as you could see here. And the month pretty much just started. It's only 8th of June. So if we continue this way, we might see the test of this double top here, and that's around 1250s. And if we do break there, we might actually go all the way somewhere here. It's not going to happen in one day, but I'm afraid to say that because it actually might. With today's markets and surprises, anything is possible. I mean, remember Coke, right? We're going to get it. I mean, we saw the story how vertical that thing moved. So if that momentum catches up, which it looks like already it have, we might see actually a nice advance in platinum. So as of now, we're not going to dream or calculate, but as of now, as of this past week, platinum gained 11.5%. Palladium as well, as all metals are looking strong. Palladium had a nice week, especially Friday, big move to the upside, up almost 10% for the week. And natural gas doesn't let traders make easy money, right? Every time we think we're breaking, we're going to sell. Every time we think we're breaking, we're selling. And now we're really pushing to this level around 375, and we did close above with a nice solid daily candle. So let's see if this time the traders on the buy side will be happy campers or not. So that's natural gas. Silver, another metal flying. We are breaking here. You could say a double top around 34.5, closing almost at 36. So that's on silver. Crude oil as well. We are breaking and we are getting close. If you remember, we discussed a few times, we said the 65 would be, around 65 would be a next strong resistance. So we are here. The high was 64.85 back in mid-April. We did close around that number on Friday. So crude oil up 6.5%. Coffee, another one moving higher for the week. We did have an attempt to move, retesting the previous resistance, but then we sold. So Friday we closed lower, but still for the week it was a gain of 4% for coffee. Wheat as well. A lot of accumulation in these areas, as you could see here. We did retest that 528 again, and since then we moved higher, and we are approaching the 200 moving average. Very strong Friday for wheat here, up 4% for the week. Next one is copper. You could see here it was strong, but Friday was sold. So for the week, we're still up on copper, even though we were much higher. We actually tested 5. As you could see here on Thursday, the high was 505.75, and then Friday was sold. And let's see how this week will play. China has a lot of influence on copper prices, so if we see Chinese index finally moving high, we might see a little bit boost on copper as well. And on the downside, as I said, we didn't have big losers. Sugar is really pushing lower here. This is the 4th consecutive week to the downside. And on monthly chart, we're kind of in the air, so we might actually continue lower. And maybe people are more conscious on not consuming sugar. I'm trying to be sarcastic here because they say it's not too healthy. But jokes aside, a lot of downside pressure on sugar here. We did close at 16.51, up 3.17% on the week. Okay, and let's go to the Forex world. And looks like the big gainer was pound yen on the week. Strong week. Thursday, Friday, we closed at the highs, trying to break out through the previous highs here. So that's on pound yen. Next one was Aussie USD. Had a strong week, but take a look, almost at the same price. We're having that resistance there on the weekly chart. So Aussie was up 0.88. New Zealand dollar, we did break through that trend line here, and we are holding. So that's New Zealand dollar. Pound dollar up 0.58. Here we go. Sterling. Friday it sold. We are kind of holding this initial trend line here. And on the weekly chart, take a look. We did break through this strong resistance here, which was significant. October 22nd, 24, we did break a couple of weeks ago. And as of now, we are holding. So that could be our support. And take a look, we did show it very nicely in 2 consecutive days. We did try to break through the end of May, and 28th, the 29th, we bounced back. And since then, we're really holding that. So as of now, we can kind of clearly say that 134.23, around that level, this is our support as of now. And of course, euro dollar, the most traded, up for the week 0.41. And on the daily chart, you could see here, let's see, weekly, similar story here. We did break through this, what was resistance became support, and we are holding for 3 weeks. We did have a retest here this past week, the previous week actually, and this week we closed in green. And of course, usually we start with dollar index. Let's take a quick look here. On the dollar side of the equation of the pairs, we are selling here since March 27. We stopped April 21st. Since then, we had a very nice recovery here. We established kind of a trend line here. And as of now, what we can do as one of the tools, you can try to set up a trend line here connecting the lows. Friday was a strong day here, right? So we had Thursday and Wednesday sell-offs. We established it's not confirmed yet, right? But as of now, we kind of stopped at the level that is higher than the previous low. So now, if hypothetically we make advance move to the upside and break the previous high, that could technically put us into reverse through the upside trend. If not, we might be challenging again this trend line and possibly breaking below. Let's take a quick look at the yen in general. As we said, this past week, yen, the weakness of yen helped the Nikkei 225, the Japanese index, to move higher as well, together with the global market. So we could see why here. On Australian dollar, 2 consecutive days. You know what? We can just see the weekly chart here. Very strong week, kind of erasing the previous couple of weeks' losses. Canadian dollar as well shows strength against the yen. Swiss franc as well, euro. So across the board, yen had not such a great week, losing to the major currencies here. Let's see how it plays going forward. So that's as far as FX, and we said the Bitcoin was up for the week 1.44%. We are trading between 100 and 104. We're back in that zone. If you remember, we mentioned here, our previous high here was 106,400. We did break through it, but now we're back again. So it looks like that resistance back to play around 106,400. And we are holding nicely above the 50-day moving average. So it still looks strong. We have this immediate resistance 106,400, and of course the recent high that we had was on May 22nd. We reached 111,954, almost 112,000, right? And let's take a quick look. The last one, the XRP, the Ripple. It is making lower lows and lower highs. It doesn't look that great, but we still are above the $2 mark. So let's see if we see any good news or any good moves for Ripple. All right, so let's just summarize things before we go and enjoy our Sunday. We did have Trump mask show that wasn't so great for Tesla and some other companies. Then we did have kind of surprised upside numbers on employment, which pushed the market higher and kind of removed concerns on could be on recession. But at the same time, it showed that the Feds are not in a rush to cut the rates. And the main focus for this week is the US-China negotiations are continuing. We might see some positive outcome from it, involving some metals, or rare metals, they call them. We have World Development Conference that we'll be watching, of course. Apple, Move, we'll watch NVIDIA for the week. We'll definitely watch Tesla, how it either recovers or continues selling. And we also, in the summer, it's the first summer month, we still have a lot of volatility. We have a lot of reasons for volatility. And we want to prepare ourselves for the busy week. I want to wish everyone a good weekend. Enjoy your Sunday. Spend a good time with your loved ones. Get some energy. Prepare yourself for the week. And of course, have a great, profitable, and successful week. All the best.